Well, after a very long morning, we finally made it to NASA Space Center, Houston, and going to come here for the Apollo 11 50th anniversary. 50 years since Apollo landed on the moon. That's right, Neil Armstrong, which is me, but I'm not the one that landed on the moon. We're here for an all-day event. They're going to have a concert out here later on tonight. All kinds of activities going on. As you see in the background, we've got the space shuttle, I think it's called the Enterprise, on top of that mighty 747. That wasn't here. We came here a couple of years ago and that was not here, so this is a new addition. So I'm looking forward to going and seeing that a little bit. But yeah, like I said, they're going to have a concert a little bit later. All kinds of exhibits going on today. This is an all-day deal. We'll be out here till 10 o'clock tonight. At 9:56, they have a countdown to the actual time that Neil Armstrong actually stepped foot on the moon. Took place 9:56 local time, 50 years ago today. So let's go in here and check out what they got. Here's the front entrance of the building we're about to go into. All kinds of cool stuff going on today. I'm excited. She's not. Look at her. She don't want to get out of the shade. She's scared of the sunlight.
Good morning, guys. We are here in NASA. We're here to celebrate the Apollo 11 50th anniversary. Behind me, you see the shuttle right there. Isn't that cool? See ya.
We're in what they're calling the family STEM zone. Apparently it's just a lot of interactive activities for kids to play. Activities for the kids. Good stuff. Drone action. It's no DJI Mavic Air. And here we go with an astronaut suit over here. Let me go get a look at that. It's kind of cool. Pretty cool. A lot of people in here, but man, it's air conditioning. Look at that big old moon over there, floating around mid-air. All right, me wants a picture made taken by this astronaut. This is a 1/60th scale of the Saturn V rocket that took the astronauts to the moon. It's actually a 3D model. The guy who made this used a 3D printer to make this thing. It's pretty cool. Pretty awesome. All right, check this out. Look at this screen right here. It's freaky. See me over there? There. There's Mia. My fingers don't show. There's Mia right there. You see my fingers? Me and Mia. Me and Mia. That's crazy. That's super technology right there at work. That's live action. Apparently a bunch of interactive activities going on here. Pictures made. Things like that. I guess they're getting their pictures made over there. Looks like they're on the moon. How about that? So you can make this little toy right here back home in the Philippines. Show them little kids how to make a little homemade parachute.
I'm gonna do this when I'll go back to class. And I'll let
That's pretty cool. All it is a coffee filter and some straws, a little paper cup. Or I guess you can use a pipe cleaner. Pretty simple. Good golly, look at that moon. We're here. We're about to land. The news station said they're expecting 20,000 people here today to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11. What you got here? Like you got to sign up or something. All right, well, this is just a little tent they set up for the interactive fun. Let's head over to the main building and see what they got in there to offer.
What's that mean? Regarding...
Oh, there it goes. Yeah, so we're inside the actual Space Center now, and our bracelets are blinking that they gave us when we got here. I don't know why. Me and was going to walk around the souvenir shop, so we're going to walk in here and try to get away without spending too much money. Huh? Okay, we just got out of the souvenir shop after spending all kinds of money on things that we just couldn't do without. Walk around the display areas, and they got some astronaut suits on display. It's Apollo, apparently an Apollo pressure suit. That is hardcore. That looks like, I'm guessing, a model of the lunar module that landed on the moon. And here is the spacesuit overlay. I guess this is what they wore on their outer layer. This was apparently fitted for astronaut David Scott on the Apollo 9 mission. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I gotta find my way to find my wife. Oh, she walked up on me. Alright, let's go over here and see what she wants to do. If you're an enthusiast about space, this is a place to come, because they have got it all. Anything you want to know about space, this is where you come to look at it or learn about it. They got rockets, they got a giant projection on the wall right there about stars and meteors. We got a big model right here of apparently one of the capsules, Orion. Some cool stuff in here. Space Center Theater. International Space Station exhibits over here. Got a guy doing a spacewalk right there. International Space Station model right there. Let's go check out these space suits. That's Deke Slayton's. He was one of the head boss mans of the Apollo program, especially during Apollo 13. Part of the Mercury program. This is Apollo 11. Biological isolation garment. This apparently belonged to Michael Collins. This is what they wore when they returned from the moon. After splashdown, they had to go into quarantine because they wasn't sure if they brought back any kind of space germs, things like that. So they had to wear a suit, that suit, and go into quarantine for a specific amount of time until they decided they was germ-free and decontaminated. This is from Apollo 12. This is one by Pete Conrad. Oh, Charles Pete Conrad, okay. That was really cool. So we're taking a break here at the Space Center Houston. Get some lunch, take a break from all the walking around, and now it's time for dessert. And no trip to NASA Space Center Houston is complete unless you have astronaut ice cream sandwich, just like the astronauts ate on all the space missions. This is Neapolitan ice cream sandwich, which means there's chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry in this ice cream sandwich. And in case you're wondering, this is what they eat in space. It is a freeze-dried, ready-to-eat space food. It's just like a regular ice cream sandwich, only it's freeze-dried. It means it lasts forever in this package. Just a little bit of inside information. Astronaut ice cream was invented for NASA's Mercury missions. And they're telling us to enjoy this special, delicious treat, just like the astronauts did. We're going to dig into this and give it a little try. It says it's frozen in time. It's the power of freeze drying, which creates this yummy treat. And I'll give it a open here. And May is going to take the first bite. Oh, see, it's an ice cream sandwich. Look at that. Just like what you get in the stores, only this is space food.
Okay.
Now she knows it's a bit crumbly. That's why it's called freeze dried. They freeze it solid. Oh man, it's been in our sack for a long time. It kind of got bumped around, kind of got busted up a little bit.
It has 3 flavors: strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate, I think. Did you say that?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, man. I was not listening.
Take a bite of that.
Bro.
Oh, she got a piece of the strawberry.
Oh my god, it's delicious.
I want to try this right here. See, it's the cookie, just like the ice cream sandwich you get in the store, and it's really light and it's really dry. It feels like a chalk texture.
Good. It reminds me of a meringue, like a meringue candy we used to eat when we were kids. But the cookie or whatever, the sandwich, this chocolate one, it tastes like a cracker. It tastes really good.
As you eat it, it kind of dissolves in your mouth. It's got a good flavor. It really does taste like ice cream, only like dry. Yeah, good flavor. The wafer, the cookie part, tastes just like a regular ice cream sandwich. But once you're chewing it, it like dissolves in your mouth. And that's when you get the flavor. Really interesting. I've had this before. Naturally, because I'm Neil Armstrong. So you want to go back and buy some more? Take it home and eat it for late night snack?
We will.
All right. Well, let's go back in and buy some more then.
What more? More ice cream.
That's right. We're going on a tram tour. We're going to go see some rockets over at Rocket Park. Saturn V rocket. All the cool stuff. It's going to be hot though. Got water. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what they call Little Joe. This is actually, it's like a test rocket that led up to the Apollo rocket system that they used. So these were unmanned. Mia, you can't reach that. Yeah, this is what they used to work all the bugs out for the Apollo missions. It's big, but not as big as the Saturn V, which we will see momentarily. And over here is the rocket system that carried John Glenn to space. This is the Mercury rocket. If you see the little black capsule at the top that has that red tower on the top of it, that is where John Glenn was at when this rocket blasted off up into space. It's a nice size rocket, but it's no Saturn V, which we will see momentarily. Let's make our way in here to see this Saturn V super duper rocket. Oh wow. Oh wow. You know, I've been here and saw this thing before, but the sheer size of this thing, you just cannot get used to. Absolutely incredible how big these rocket boosters are. So we're back here in the back, or the bottom of the rocket. This thing's like a football field long. So let's roll up to the front there. Just imagine the power of the thrust, the boost coming out of these things when they was ignited. Crazy. As you walk along the rocket here, you see they got the banners. Apollo 1, Apollo 7, 8, and so on and so forth. On the wall opposite the rocket, they've got a little piece of information on the wall of each mission. Those of y'all who know your history will know that on Apollo 1, these 3 astronauts were unfortunately killed during a test when they flipped a switch and a spark ignited and their cockpit was full of oxygen, and fire ensued and they ended up dying. And here's a picture of the burned up capsule there. And it jumps to Apollo 7. Now, a piece of information I just learned during all this celebration was that there was over 400,000 people working on the Apollo program that sent Apollo 11 to the moon. 400,000 people did this, anywhere from working on the rocket to computer programmers to all the different engineers who designed the rocket, all the way down to the people who sewed the astronauts' suits together. And also, the average age of a mission control personnel was like 26 years old. They're just kids sending a man to the moon. I was not aware of that information, so I thought that was really cool, really interesting. Now, if you look at Apollo 8, the astronauts listed here, you'll see the name Lovell. If y'all seen that movie Apollo 13, Jim Lovell was Tom Hanks in that movie. So Lovell also was on Apollo 8 as well as Apollo 13. He was chosen commander of Apollo 13 to land on the moon, but if you've seen the movie, you know that did not happen. Now this first, or I'll say bottom section of the rocket here, from there, the black square, all the way back there, disengaged from the rest. That's basically just fuel there that launched them further up into orbit, up into space. And you'll see the secondary set of rocket boosters, which is where we come to Apollo 11. As you see on the banner. And there they are. Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins. As I was saying, this is the stage 2 rocket that continued to give them more boost as they started their orbits around Earth. They had to work up speed using the Earth's orbit, Earth's gravity. So they circled the Earth to get enough speed to break loose of Earth's orbit, Earth's gravity, to launch them continuing on towards the moon. And this was done with the help of stage 2 rocket here. If y'all know the story on these guys, this mission was known as a successful failure, meaning that they didn't make it to the moon, but luckily they made it back home, which was a miracle in itself. That's the part of the limb that blew out during their flight, which crippled the whole mission, and they had to not land on the moon because of that. Apollo 14. And here we go with 15. With each continuing Apollo mission, the astronauts stayed longer on the moon, did more experiments, and I believe 15 is the first one where they used the lunar rover, the little dune buggy looking thing. And here is the stage 3 rocket, which I believe after they broke out of Earth's orbit that sent them on a straight shot to the moon. Apollo 16. You know, all these guys did just as much as Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin. I mean, maybe more on the moon, since they did a lot more experiments and began to understand it more and actually spent more time there. But walking through here and reading their names, you've never heard of them. I kind of feel bad for those guys, but they're all heroes doing what they did. And the last crew to land on the moon, Apollo 17. There was supposed to be an Apollo 18, but due to budget cuts and shutting down of NASA, they didn't make it. So Apollo 17 was the last mission to go to the moon. Inside there is where the lunar module was kept. The tower jet, the white rocket thing on the end down there, that actually deploys early on in the flight. And what it's connected to right there, that cylindrical looking thing, is the command module. That's actually what Michael Collins floated around the moon, while Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin was down actually on the moon. So he flew around on that and rendezvoused with them when they got done, picked them back up, they connected, and came back to Earth, and that's what they busted through the atmosphere in. That little thing right there, 3 men inside that. The round part on the bottom is the heat shield. That's what protected them from the atmosphere. So much technology went into all these missions. It is just, for me anyway, it's just hard to wrap my mind around it, because it's just so amazing. And a couple of years ago when Mia first got here, we toured this complex and actually went to mission control. And during that tour, the guy was telling us about the computer power that it took to operate these rockets, to communicate and everything else. And he's like, how many of y'all have one of these in your pocket? He said, you probably got 20 ringtones or whatever on your phone. He says, approximately the computer power that took to do all this was about the same as one ringtone. It was something to that effect, but it was such a minuscule amount compared to what we use today. This has so much power than what it took this to go to the moon. Believe that or not. We're going to probably take some pictures and catch that tram and head on back and do some more space stuff. Well, we are fixing to get back on the tram and head back to NASA over here. But I just want to show some NASA ingenuity. Eyewitness to NASA ingenuity right here as we're in this canopy waiting to get on our tram. See this plastic? It's got cold blow blowing through here, and they poke holes in it to distribute the air underneath this canopy. See big old tubes just blowing cold air, and they put holes in it. It actually helps out, believe it or not. And this is why we Americans were able to send a man to the moon, because we think of things like this. This is America. It's America at work right here. Oh my God, feel that cold air. This is beautiful. Look at that. That's brilliant. Feel it? Oh my God. That's cold blow. Anyway, let's get on this tram and head on back. I just thought this was a pretty neat brilliance right there. Blowing this cold blow out, saving all of us tourists from the heat. Ain't that right, May?
Yep.
All right, we're here in the food court here at the visitor center at NASA, and I just want to show this mural on the wall that they have in here. Super cool. I don't know if you can see it real well, but it starts with the actual Gemini space program. It progresses on to the actual moon landing. Even the pillars have artwork on them. Into the shuttle program, and eventually their goal to reach Mars. Just a really cool progression of NASA. Historical pictorial, if you will. I don't know if you can see it from here, but you see the orange jet. That's the glamorous Glennis, which Chuck Yeager broke the sound barrier in. I thought it was really cool. Like I said, even the pillars are painted up. And they got those canopies hanging down. Really cool in here. Not temperature-wise, it's hot because of all the people. All right, let's go find Mia. Hey, look, I found Mia. Apollo 50th live, Space Center, Houston. Well, we did all of our walk around that we're gonna do from the visitor center right over there. The tourist, with all the tourist displays. Did a lot of walking today, and we're gonna sit here. We bought our chairs out and set them up before all these other people got here. But as you can see, there's a concert stage set up here. The group Walk the Moon and Phillips Twice will be on the stage. Huh? Phillips. And they're gonna give us some live music action. And sometime after the concert tonight, they're gonna have a live countdown to when Neil Armstrong walked on the moon. As of right now, we're gonna sit here and enjoy this cool breeze and drink this cold water that I got from inside there and just chillax for a little while. All right, how about that? How about that? Say peace out.
Away from the Apollo 11 liftoff. All the second stage tanks now pressurized. 35 seconds and counting. We are still go with Apollo 11. 30 seconds and counting. Astronauts report it feels good. T-minus 25 seconds. 20 seconds and counting. T-minus 15 seconds. Guidance is internal. 12, 11, 10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6.
We have liftoff. Apollo 11 has cleared the tower.
I believe that Shepard's launch, Kennedy's speech, basically ignited the fire.
It's a matter